So I'm Kira Steele, I'm from Farmers to Founders, and I've been the tech advisor for the last 12 months with the TEKFARM project. We're now here on Inorunie Station with the TEKFARM project with a group of people on tour to educate people on what sort of technologies we have implemented out there and how it can help them on their properties. Bill has implemented an Optiweigh, which is remote weighing in the paddock. Bill deals with sale cattle, so being able to remotely weigh them and not have to bring them in to weigh them every time has really helped him reduce costs and also keep those gains on his cattle.
Yeah, I talked to a few people who are using Optiweighs and getting a lot of really useful data out of it. And it's been really handy, yeah. It's just one of those things that keeps working along, but yeah, you just keep it loaded with bait for the cattle and they keep coming in and you keep getting data. So
Explain how the Optiweigh works.
So Optiweigh's in paddock, but it's basically its own little trailer. So you just hook it behind a vehicle, tow it out to a paddock, and then you put either molasses or something in there that it is tricky to find the right thing, but you just want every animal to go in and have a little bit and not a few of them to go in and just gorge themselves, which they like to do a bit.
We've got one at our property. We just put a bit of lick in this tub here, and depending on the size of the cattle we can adjust these bars and slide this backwards and forwards too, so we can make sure the Optiweigh is fit to the right cattle we're trying to have a look at. And as they come in, this board here takes a scan of their NLIS tag, so it's reading the animal and that data is then being talked to this funny box and sent to the cloud and back to our iPhone, and we can have a look at our data and check on our average daily gains and have a look at some cool little bar graphs.
Part of that selling process to know what you've got in a paddock. So if you've got a paddock of steers, sort of get it in there before and you get an idea of what weight you've got in the mob, your top and bottom, and how much are in your sale range. The Optiweigh with the scales has got us across our cattle weights and weight gains in the paddock much better, so we can follow that and know what we've got there, know how many numbers we've got to sell before we get them in the yards. So rather than get them in weigh and keep them in the holding paddock while we organise trucks and a sale, we can do that before we get them in and book it all out. So now we've nearly get them in muster, draft and load. So they're in the yard in the sale yard that night and gone, all in one day. Is a great turnaround to save that. Is saving us a lot of labour and costs there, but also weight off our cattle for having less time in the yards, coming in and out, and going into the holding paddock, coming in again is a huge bonus. Yeah, we're starting to get a better handle on sort of what our cattle and our country does. Sort of always obviously varies with different cattle, different times of the year and seasons, but yeah, having the data to directly give you hard figures on what that does. If you look at averages and different mobs and different times, then yeah, it gives you a lot more than you just get definitely from experience in the eye when you've just got that cold hard data to look at to show you what the cattle in the country do.
So like before, what did you do before you had the Optiweigh?
Yeah, just probably look at cattle in the paddock or take an agent for a drive and have a look and have a guess at what you had there and then it'd probably be going back to either ordering a couple of trucks or having a guess at what you had and ordering trucks, or putting them through the yard, finding out what you got, ordering your trucks for a couple of days later and putting them in a holding paddock for a couple of days while you ordered that. So yeah, that's now cut that step out. Yeah, having that data coming in and it just sort of, yeah, it just gives you a lot better idea when to sell and what you've got to sell. And then that understanding of what the cattle are doing and what the country's doing as well.